(911), what's your emergency?
I think my husband had a heart attack.
Ma'am, check to see if he's breathing yet.
No, he's not breathing. I've got him on the floor. I'm doing CPR.
All right, keep up the chest compressions. Let me hear you count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God, Dave, don't leave me. Where the hell are the EMTs?
They're almost there, ma'am. Just keep going.
I kept saying, come on, Dave, don't leave me. Don't leave me. By the time the paramedics arrived, I had been doing CPR on Dave for 9.5 minutes. It took 7 shocks to get a heartbeat out of him. He was clinically dead on the floor of our house for more than 10 minutes.
I emerged from the coma nearly a month later.
I love you more than life itself. I would do anything for you.
She saved my life. She saved my life. It's a flat out miracle.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Carla Berlin, and tonight you're going to hear a powerful, true story of survival, resilience, and hope, and why everyone should learn CPR to be able to save the life of a loved one. And here to share their story are 2 well-known media personalities and journalists. Please welcome Dave and Kris Ogle. Thank you both for being here.
Oh, Carla, thank you so much for having us. You know, we've known you for a long time, and you were on this journey with us, and to be able to share our story for the first time with you means the world to us.
Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And thank you for taking time to share it. And I know we've got lots to talk about tonight, but before we get into your story and your book and everything else, for those who might not be familiar, would you both please share a little bit about your history and backgrounds?
Oh, sure. Should I go first?
How about me?
Yeah, let's have Dave go first.
Sounds good.
Well, I went to college at Iowa State University and was a journalism major and got a job early on in the NBC affiliate in Des Moines as a news photographer, and loved it and excelled, and worked my way up here to the Twin Cities, and I worked at KSTP for nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
But in that time at KSTP, I met this lovely woman, life-saving and more than one way.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
That's how that happened.
What about you, Kris?
Yes, I too came to the Twin Cities. I had been working in Chicago, and Carrie Levin at the time offered me a great reporting opportunity. And so I worked there for a while, and KSTP snapped me up and did reporting and anchoring there for about 8 years. And Dave and I kept getting paired together as a news crew. And when you spend about 8 hours a day in a van with someone covering whatever news story, you learn a lot about each other. And so working on deadlines every day and turning out important stories, that's how our friendship started, and that's how we started.
That's how the love story
Yeah.
began. Yeah. Talk about transitioning from reporting stories to becoming the story.
Hmm. Yeah, you never think about that when you're a journalist, because the journalist creed is it's never about you, right?
Mhm,
You
mhm.
are the conveyor of the story. Um, and so after such a long career, um, suddenly on July 7th, 2019, it was our tragedy that we were experiencing. And never imagining that the lights and sirens would come to us.
Well, and for those who are just tuning in, tonight's story is about sudden cardiac arrest. And
Yes.
a lot of people do not understand the difference between that and a heart attack. A heart attack is a circulation problem caused by blocked blood flow to the heart. By contrast, sudden cardiac arrest is an electrical problem. It occurs when the heart's electrical activity becomes faulty or erratic, causing the heart to stop beating in any meaningful way. Without any blood flow within the body, the victim falls instantly unconscious, and over 90% of those victims do not survive. And that is what happened to Dave, correct?
That is correct. Now, I have no memory of this at all, not even the days before it.
Mm.
I think that's for the best.
Yeah, it is for the best because I remember everything.
But Kris remembers it all because she had to live through it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So maybe you can walk the audience through what happened.
Yeah.
The night everything changed.
Dave and I and the kids, because we have two now grown children, had just driven back from a great family reunion in Iowa, Dave's sister's house. And it was great. And we got home. The kids probably Alex went up to their rooms. Sammy went to their girlfriends' houses. And for some odd reason, I told Dave, just let the luggage and laundry sit, just come sit with me on the couch. Because usually he's all about it. And we were sitting there watching Yellowstone, which was our favorite Sunday night TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden I hear this, it didn't even sound human, Carla. It was this deep guttural breath that I've never heard from anyone. And I looked over at Dave sitting this close to me on the couch, and his head was back, his eyes were open, and his mouth was open.
Oh my gosh.
But he wasn't there. And I immediately jumped up. I shook him. I yelled his name, Dave, Dave. No response.
Mm.
So I tell Dave, I actually slapped him as well. The slap I ever made of someone, and nothing. So I pulled him down to the floor as I called CPR, or called 911 and started CPR.
Mm.
And nearly 10 minutes later is when EMTs arrived and were able to take over for me. But during that whole time, no heartbeat, no recovery, no signs of life. And I was terrified.
Yeah.
I thought it was a heart attack, but I don't know.
You can hear it in the trailer. Is that the real 911 call?
Thank you for asking. We reached out and they delete recordings after a few years. And so ours had been deleted, but we did recreate it from the transcript, which I had. And of course, my memory is clear that evening.
Something you don't forget.
Something you don't forget. And it took 7 shocks to get any heartbeat out of Dave. And then began our series of decisions and advocating and hoping and losing hope. He was hospitalized for 65 days.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What was the hardest emotional moment through the entire journey?
For me, um, of course, that first night was terrifying. And thank goodness I had taken a CPR class at the last minute a few months before at work, because I almost didn't take it.
Yeah.
So that night was terrifying, but I think the hardest emotional moment for me was when they couldn't figure out how to wake up Dave. And they did an MRI, which is a brain scan. And as you would expect, Dave had suffered some anoxic brain injury. I mean, he was deprived of oxygen. And the moment they told me that he may never wake up, or if he woke up, he may need round-the-clock nursing care. Every scenario they painted for him, I'm sorry, honey,
Yeah.
was terrible. And I thought, what do I do with this future? And what do I tell the kids? Yeah, I think that was the hardest moment for me.
For me, I emerged from the coma, as you saw in the video, a month later, and I was in really bad shape, as you saw in the video, connected to every medical device that I could be connected to, not able to do anything. I had no idea what had happened. I didn't know if I was dying or if I was living or what.
How frightening.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
But my first thought emotionally was, what have I done to Kris? And
I was home sleeping at the time when he woke up. You know, I was a regular guest at the hospital overnights. But that night I went home to get some sleep, and I got a call early in the morning, and they said, Dave's awake.
Yeah.
And what's the first thing you said?
I said, where's my wife? I knew that I was alive then and there, and my wife was on the way, and that was all that mattered.
Well, offline, when we were doing a test the other day, or yesterday, I guess it was, I actually said to both Kris and Dave that what I believed saved Dave's life was the power of their true love and friendship and that strength. And you both seem to agree with me.
Yeah. There was no medical reason for him to pull through like he did. None. And somewhere in there, because he couldn't talk, he couldn't eat, he couldn't move or anything, something pulled him through. And
you're right, Carla. I had to come back.
Yeah.
I had to come back.
Yeah.
We needed you.
We have so much love all around us. So
Yeah, our love, and then the community that we had cultivated together over the years, held on to hope when we couldn't, especially when I couldn't. And this man fought his way back to me every single step of the way.
Because waking up is one thing, but that's just the beginning of recovery. And
yes, I will tell you that, and as I said before, hooked to all these medical devices, I couldn't sit, stand, eat, breathe on my own.
Any bodily function.
Go to the bathroom, none of it. I couldn't do any of it. And I couldn't speak very well at all. I couldn't remember, as I say in the book, I think 2/3 of my vocabulary was gone.
wow.
I couldn't remember how to do anything. so I had to relearn. But from day one, something in the back of my mind said, I have to get back every piece, every little bit of what we were before. I'm gonna do everything I can to get it back. And
I'm
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
And that was my goal, my mission every day.
And you're celebrating your 25th wedding anniversary?
This year,
20,
yes, our 25th. Dave just turned 60, and a lot to celebrate. And it's been a hard-fought battle back. But this is one of the reasons we wanted to share our story, because number one, if I hadn't taken that CPR class when I did, there was no one else to save him.
Right.
And we're like, how many people are sitting next to their loved ones right now, or they go out with friends and something happens and they don't know what to do? I'll tell you, when it's their life or your discomfort, that discomfort goes right out the window and you fight like hell.
Fight or flight is.
Fight or flight.
So let's talk about why you wrote Deadline, because I know this is a piece of that, of what you just said.
It started, now this will sound all like, inspirational, which I believe in. But once Dave was home and our new lives were taking shape, the first few lines of this book came to me and it wouldn't let me stop thinking about it. So I felt like I was meant to report this, for lack of a better word. And for the first, I don't know, few months of this, it was kind of like just getting the story onto the page. One of the interesting things is I write the first half of the book until Dave wakes up, but it is a day-by-day account. And I was helped by that by my Caring Bridge posts. And if everyone's aware of Caring Bridge, it's how to share information with your family and friends.
Yes.
And so day by day, you see those posts from me on Caring Bridge, giving the news, sharing my thoughts and what I'm going through. So it is a brutally honest account of everything, good, bad, and ugly.
Absolutely.
That I went through. And, I do not paint myself in a flattering light. You get everything. Because what do reporters do when they witness something tragic?
You write about it.
You write about it.
And you try to help people.
You try to inform the public. And once it started to flow like that, and Dave could pick up the narrative halfway through, that's when I found out that Dave was alive. And that's when the readers are going to find out that he's alive. Sorry to spoil it for you, but he lived.
Well, clearly. And what's wonderful is you both are true journalists and storytellers. So it isn't necessarily a shock that you are writing this book you wrote this book called Deadline that's going to come out June 9th. And what a way to turn your trauma into purpose.
Why don't you share the purpose that called us in to do this?
Well, from the very beginning, I felt, how can we help people by sharing our story? And I tried several jobs after the cardiac arrest. I had to give up my career as a photojournalist, and I was trying to find a job where I could help people, and nothing really stuck. But writing about the experience it really felt right.
Mm-hmm.
And just the idea of inspiring someone by telling our story and inspiring them to learn CPR,
Mhm.
get their documents in order,
Yes.
and be prepared for emergencies, that would just make it all worth it. So that's the purpose.
Yeah, if even one person can benefit from this, from what we went through, we will have felt that we achieved our purpose. But this week is CPR and AED Awareness Week, and we support the American Heart Association getting the word out. But we want to be a living example of the difference that it can make, because there is no one else when somebody in your family or a friend goes down.
What do you think, or do they know what causes sudden cardiac arrest?
Well, there can be many different reasons. There could be trauma, blunt force. A heart attack could cause a cardiac arrest.
But they are different.
But in my case, I can tell you that they found no cause.
None.
Which is even more concerning, I think. But yes, they can happen for a number of different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But mine is
Undetermined.
unknown.
Wow.
We kind of determined ourselves that stress from the job was likely a factor.
Mhm.
And I worked, Kris and I both worked on deadlines our entire professional careers, and until I died on the floor in our house. And that's the main reason I stepped away from the job.
Yeah.
I was going to have to relearn how to do it.
Yeah.
And that was going to be stressful in itself. So we stepped away from that, and here we are.
And
Dave, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, in order to give that even more emphasis, so Dave was healthy. He was active. He managed his weight. He has been, and he's a type 2 diabetic. And so he was maintaining a healthy weight and healthy everything else because he does not take that for granted.
Mhm.
And so when he collapsed, there was no medical reason.
Right.
And he's had every test imaginable. So we just want people to know it can happen to
Mhm.
otherwise healthy people. And that's what makes this even more urgent.
The other thing is, Carla, is that, as you said before, it can often happen. Cardiac arrests outside the hospital often happen in people's homes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's another part that we really want to convey to people, is that this can certainly happen to someone you love
Mhm.
right in your home.
Mhm.
And it's far too many homes, 350,000 a year, and 70% of those are in people's homes. That's somewhere in the range of 700 people a day.
Wow.
So that's another part of the message that we want to convey.
Well, and I know the recovery, from what you've shared, has been a long journey. What
Mhm.
surprised, and this question is to both of you, what surprised you, Dave, the most in your recovery on this journey?
Can I tell the weather shot?
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, because I want to go there next. So
Can you explain what the weather shot is?
yes.
Well, I'll explain. I'll go way back to my beginning in TV news. As I said, I started as a news photographer in Des Moines, and I took the job. It was great. I loved it. We covered many things in Iowa, floods, and as you would expect, all kinds of politics and whatever. I could explain it all. But anyway, I got to the day-to-day of shooting TV news, and it came up that as a part of my daily assignments, the assignment editor would assign a photographer that day to gather a weather shot.
Mm-hmm.
A weather shot is something that the weatherman will show on the air.
Meteorologist.
Meteorologist on the air on the 10 o'clock weathercast, just to kind of show what it was like outside that day. And when you get assigned 4 or 5 stories and you're on deadline for all those stories, and you have to come back to the station and edit those stories and deliver the news, that weather shot assignment is often overlooked.
And given at the last minute.
Right.
Even at the last minute, you get almost all the way back to the station. You're like, oh no, I forgot the weather shot. What am I going to do? So what happens is you end up pulling over and just trying to find something that is worthwhile, worth taking a picture of.
Mhm.
Find beauty where you are.
Yeah.
Right.
So wherever you are, wherever it happens to be if you're in the alley or the side of the interstate,
Mhm.
look for something, and you want to be a good photographer, so you look for some kind of beauty, no matter where your assignments take you. So over time, it occurred to me that the weather shot is really a metaphor for stories.
Mhm.
Every bad story, no matter where you are, no matter how bad it is, there's usually a little piece of beauty in there. And I started to notice those weather shots in stories, little pieces of hope in a bad story, and those started to stand out, and I started to look for those all over the place.
Interesting.
And over time, I realized that I shouldn't only be looking for those pieces of beauty in the stories. I should be looking for those in my life as well. And so that became the weather shot mentality, looking for that little piece of beauty, no matter where you are, no matter how bad things were. And to be honest with you, after we left TV news in 2004, I had thought about it, but I hadn't thought about it a lot. I tried to live that way. And it was not really in the front of my mind. But I tell you what, Carla, it showed up right away after I had a cardiac arrest.
Yeah, finding beauty in this, right?
Because I'm sitting in my hospital room, not knowing if I'm living or dying or what was going to happen. And I thought, where is my weather shot in this? And I knew that I was live and that Kris was coming, and that was the weather shot. And then every day had a weather shot. Everything that I did, every improvement, every hurdle I climbed was a weather shot. And I would call Kris, and we'd share them. And I'd say, today, I drank liquid for the first time. Weather shot.
Weather shot.
And then as those milestones passed by, I got to rehab. And I started creating my own weather shots by, being a personal best. Today I got out of they took me out of the bed and I walked, and that was a weather shot. And
Mhm.
I'd go to therapy and I'd walk 10 steps, and that was a weather shot. And the next set I'd walk 20, and I'd beat every previous thing that I had, and it kept me in a positive state of mind,
Mhm.
to not feel sorry for myself,
Mhm.
and to not think about how things might turn out badly, or how our future might be. I thought of that weather shot all the way through my recovery, and it was a really helpful thing.
Yeah. And I mean, it was a years-long recovery. I mean, we're not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me to see Dave struggle. It also blew my mind how he made it his full-time job to recover. And celebrating, I got one more piece of the puzzle today. And oh my gosh, when he finally got to drink Mountain Dew again, how long did I have to hear about when can I have Mountain Dew?
Diet Mountain.
Diet Mountain Dew, sorry. Yeah.
We just got a message from someone I've known a very long time, since I was a little girl, that wrote, so grateful for your message of weather shot. You're an inspiration. So pleased you are here to share it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And, the things you're talking about are the things we take for granted every day until we have to focus on the weather shot. And it made me think about, as you started to talk about that, why wasn't that the title of your book, or is that the next book?
Carla, I just thought the same thing. That should be the next book.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carla, I just started up photography again, and it's been very, very good for me, and a creative outlet. But my studio will be named Weather Shot Photography.
In fact, all the pictures you see behind us
Uh-huh.
are his pictures.
Of course they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
The talented journalist that I've always known.
Yeah.
It's still there. And in this process, offline, you had mentioned to me as well that humor was a role in your recovery or into this journey. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, how else do you get through? You find your opportunities to, for the levity and the bright moments. I think humor came in where, I don't know if any of your viewers have, faced a long hospital stay or been a caregiver of someone, but it's very easy to lose hope and forget who you were before.
Mhm.
And when family and friends would visit and they would share with me the funny stories of times that we spent together, that reminded me of who we were and, the lives we could reclaim.
Mhm.
But also, I think Dave and I together, we needed to have a little bit of humor for helping him recover, because,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but when part of Dave's therapy involved remembering how to make a grilled cheese and you could not figure it out. I mean, one of the chapters in our book is called Foiled by a Grilled Cheese. And,
It's not funny, but yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so little things like that,
Mhm.
and giving each other a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
There was a stretch when I finally got out of the rehab hospital, and they let me walk around outside. And for some reason, every car I saw outside was black.
He saw black cars everywhere.
Oh, wow.
And I just couldn't make sense of that. I didn't know what was the deal. And I told people this, and they thought, well,
He's not right in the head.
not all the cars are black.
Right.
I did joke later that I thought maybe I was colorblind now, and that news hit me right out of the purple.
Oh gosh. Well, and I want to get kind of transition back to the book, but before I do, you both were, as you were talking, and you were talking about the caregiving and peace. My viewers have followed me for almost 4 decades, and most of them know that I was a caregiver for almost 12 years, 8 years in the same home to my parents who were both terminally ill together. And that journey of advocation, of taking care of them, my choice, would do it all over again. You don't realize how much you're impacted when you truly have that bond of love. And we had the humor too that kept us going. And it'll be 6 years since my dad died, June 12th, and 5 years since my mom. And I can tell you, in the last 2 months, I finally feel like Carla again.
See?
Yep. And not that I haven't had happy moments and joy and done wonderful things, but and people will criticize me because I will share a lot about my folks or whatever, but I have all these amazing memories and I'm smiling. It was my weather shot. Those memories are my weather shot to push me forward. Well, many people think I'm hanging on to the past. So this is just my way of sharing with many of the viewers that are online, to your points of the journey is so much more, which is one of the reasons you wrote the book along the way. It's more than just what happened, the recovery. It permanently changes your life.
Forever. Yeah. And I can say, that weather shop mentality, it is front and center for us now. We take the trip, we host the party, we reach out to friends who we haven't talked to in a long time.
We bought a new house.
We didn't want to stay in that house where it happened.
Yeah.
Good.
And we just invested in the things that would help us make more memories together, because we know, probably more than ever, that the next memory making is not guaranteed.
Yeah, you both have learned that. With the book deadline, I know it launches and is coming out next week on June 10th.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the information of, for sure, if you want to share more of the book, I don't want to give anything away.
No, we don't want to tell the whole story.
Right. But just the launch and the information behind that above where this video, we're going right now live to 8 different places. And if you click on the link to their website and the information, you will be able to get the book and more information. But if you wouldn't mind sharing what you're willing to.
Yes. So our book will be live on Amazon on June 10th. So it is not live yet. However, our website is called liveshotpublishing.com, and you can get all of the information about us and our story. We are hosting a book launch event in Minneapolis on June 13th, and we invite anyone who's interested, anyone who wants to celebrate, anyone who wants to learn more, to come celebrate with us. And Carla, I don't know if you have that information, but
I do. Yep. And
I
should be back in town, and I will be. And if I am, I put maybe, but I wrote that if I'm in town, I will be there, and I should make it back.
But we invited a friend of ours who was recommended by the American Heart Association to speak about, because he teaches CPR and AED. So he's going to speak. We're going to be interviewed by our book consultant. We're going to our first I just found out our first responders are coming along with our 911 dispatcher and her husband, and a lot of Dave's healthcare team. So this is really a celebration and a way to say thank you to them, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to help other people with what we went through, and
I love that.
make a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so important. And
Yeah.
like both of you, I take those relationships as well. That's serious. In fact, I'm friends on Facebook with many of my parents' nurses from over the years.
Of course.
And the ambulance driver that seemed to get us each time, we
Yeah.
have lunch.
Oh, good.
Yeah. In those relationships, what I will say is that the EMTs and the 911 operator, when we reached out to them, when Dave actually recovered and came home, they were so overwhelmed because they said, we engage with people at the worst time in their lives, and we never know the ending of the story.
Yeah.
And here's a happy ending that they made happen. It was a gift to us, and it was a gift to them, and we're so excited to, honor them at this event.
That's wonderful. Were you going to say something, Dave? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, and they also said that it's so rare when they come to someone's home, there's a cardiac arrest, that there is a survivor.
Yeah.
And so it was really great to meet with those EMTs for the first time, probably a year after the cardiac arrest,
Yeah.
and to have them share that. They thought it was really cool that that we reached out and that I had survived.
Yeah.
And so
Because
Because
clearly, they knew that the odds were against him.
over 90%, correct? Do not. That's when I did my homework. Do not survive.
Yeah. Only 6% survive.
oh, in the in-home sudden cardiac arrest in-home, one study says 6% for survival rate for those.
Mm-hmm.
But that 10% generally nationwide is the current number. Yes.
Yeah. So, we couldn't not tell the story. And,
Right.
and we wanted readers to go through it step by step, day by day with us, so they can see when we lose hope and when we have victories, and when Dave took a turn for the worse, even weeks later, how we had to go through the whole thing again. It's everything, and it has to make a difference somehow.
It's precious. Life is precious. And thank you for documenting and sharing this story with us. I know going through this interview or this conversation today, is there anything else that I haven't touched on that you think the viewers should know, from either one of you?
We say we want to help save lives, but at the end of each chapter, we provide insights, what we learned from each of these experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is about saving hope as well. And how to take advantage, and I don't mean that taking advantage, but take advantage of the help that is out there. People have this innate desire to help when somebody is in crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you asked what the most surprising thing about the recovery was.
Mm-hmm.
Was that village that showed up without even having to ask, and they wanted tell us what to do. And that restored my hope in many occasions.
I would say that even if you don't have a major medical event like we did, don't wait. You don't know what could happen. Don't wait. Go out there and live your life to the best. Take the trip as we did.
Take the trip.
Have friends over, because you never know
Right.
what could happen.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you hope people will take with them or carry with them? And maybe what you just shared is that from reading the book.
Oh, if I could narrow it down to a couple of things, 3 hours of your life to learn CPR could make a difference for a lot of lives. Dave and I learned CPR again after he recovered. Not a year later, we saw a woman collapse at the parking lot in Woodbury outside a restaurant, and we were right there. And fortunately, we got her to regain consciousness, but we knew what to do. We never knew her name, but it means the world. And so 3 hours of your life versus lifetimes for people you love is worth it. And second, I don't know, we believe there's always hope. And there are ways to make hope more likely in terms of preparing, but also accepting those who can carry the hope for you along the way. Did you have anything else, honey?
I think what you said was perfect.
Yay.
Well, and I have been in journalism and have had my show for since 2003, but been doing this for almost 4 decades. And I told you both yesterday during the test, it's hard for me to even get through the trailer without crying because you two are friends and we've known each other a long time. This is probably, if it's not the hardest, at least the second hardest story to share because of the emotional attachment. Journalists are supposed to just, tell facts and have a conversation, but it's very powerful. You've accomplished your goal, and I'm very excited for you with your book launch to share this story and the power of not only what you've gone through and the survivorships and resilience and hope, but those weather shots.
Those weather shots.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Carla. It means the world, and I feel like we've been given this purpose, and with talking with you, we know that we've already achieved an important part of that. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Dave, any parting words that you would like to share or from either one of you?
Look for those weather shots. They're there no matter what life throws at you.
What
about you, Kris? Anything else?
Ooh, how can I top that?
I know.
I think my parting words would be look for those miracles, however you determine miracles, that show up, that let you know that you're being thought of, you're being cared for, even when things get chaotic and messy. If you get all green lights on the way to work, that's the universe saying, we got you. And the little signs that show up along the way, those can carry you through more than any of us realize. And I hope that people just notice more, because you'll feel the power of looking at life that way.
That is fantastic. I can't thank you both enough for taking time out tonight to share the story, to share your journey, the pain, the raw emotion. We felt it. I'm looking forward to celebrating your book launch on the 13th. But for those of you who are tuning in, click on the link above to learn more about this story and how you can purchase it when it goes live. It'll be on Amazon, and also, as you heard, the open invite to their book launch as well. Join me. I will be back in town. I said maybe because of weather, but I don't say what's gonna happen, because that's when it will, right? But
Exactly.
but I plan to be there as well. Thank you again for the raw, authentic emotion that you just shared.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Carla.
And thank you, everybody. Thanks for hearing our story.
We had a great crew on, so I also want to thank all of you. And please tune in. We go live at 7 p.m. Central Time on 8 different platforms, Tuesday evening, sometimes Wednesday evening. So I look forward to having you all join me next week at 7 p.m. Central Time, right here on Around Town TV Live. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.